Summer night outs are all about good times with good people and of course always smelling amazing. Here are 12 fantastic summer night out fragrances for men that will make you smell absolutely incredible. Hi, welcome. I'm gonna show you 12 fantastic fragrances for summer night outs and also share a little bit about how I usually spray for summer night outs. But before we get started, please drop a like on this video, thank you, I really do appreciate it, and make sure you subscribe. For summer night outs, I usually, but not always, reach for fragrances with a bit more depth to them. If you are looking for more sort of a daytime summer fragrances, then I highly recommend checking out my summer fragrances video, which I'm gonna link to above. How I often spray for summer night outs. Since I often go with fragrances with a bit more depth to them for summer night outs, I usually tend to spray less, but instead top up every now and then. That way I still smell good and project in a decent way, but without choking people. For super fresh scents on a warm summer day, it's different, and I often both overspray and top up. A thing like this is a travel atomizer or a travel sprayer, is key. So you spray on your fragrance before you go out, and then you use this to top up every now and then when you feel it's needed. A travel atomizer is one of the best things for fragrance when going out. So let's start with two fantastic Armani fragrances that I think are perfect for summer night outs. But I'm gonna count them as one because I do feel that they are basically sort of doing the same thing but in slightly different ways. I know some people think you can't use Armani Code Parfum summertime, but this thing smells absolutely fantastic with a bit of warmth. It's powdery, slightly sweet and woody with a bit of citrusy and aromatic freshness, and to me its powderiness has a sort of an airy quality to it. Absolutely wicked compliment getter on summer night outs. The other Armani is one I bought about a year or so ago, but this one was released back in 2020, and I actually get Armani Code Parfum vibes from this, but with a twist. Armani He is a bit like Code Parfum, but with a different kind of freshness and with a toned down powderiness, woodiness and vanilla. Another difference is that Armani He has a very soft rose to it. This is a fantastic compliment getter, but it's not a strong one, so I do recommend topping this thing up every now and then when you are out. So I always rotate through my different YSLs throughout the year, and last year for summer night outs I reached for YEDP Intense quite a bit. This year, however, I've been reaching for Y LE Parfum a bit more, and this thing smells absolutely fantastic with a bit of warmth. Y LE Parfum to me is sort of like a spin of Y Eau de Parfum, but with a much richer and more nuanced aromatic side that I think goes perfectly with the apple in it. So a fab dose of aromatic freshness that really cuts through the air, together with a bit of fruitiness and everything being a bit spicy and citrusy fresh. If you never tried Y LE Parfum for summer night outs, then please do so and let me know in the comments what you think of it. The next fragrance opens up in a sort of a fizzy and slightly fresh way with lavender and ginger. A gorgeous opening, but it's really the dry down that smells absolutely amazing with a bit of warmth. The dry down has a sort of a bubblegumish kind of sweetness, and it's dominated by a super smooth dose of vanilla together with the lavender from the opening. So you got this aromatic freshness from the lavender mixed with smooth vanilla, and the combo is wicked. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense is one of my absolute favorites from the line. And this thing on summer night outs is fantastic. Let me know in the comments if you won this summertime and what you think of it. So from one smooth vanilla to another. They are not the same though, and this pretty much takes smoothness to another level. This opens up with a fantastic but unfortunately short-lived dose of a smooth kind of freshness. Smells great, but this part really doesn't last long. But as it goes into the mids, it basically turns into this super smooth and balsamic vanilla with a soft amberness to it. And as it dries down, everything in it just grows in intensity, and it's basically a vanilla focused scent that's incredibly ambery with a bit of smooth woodiness to sort of balance things up. Its extreme smoothness and amberness is really what made me fall in love with it, and Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, the Eau de Parfum, is absolutely amazing on summer night outs. So next up is a fragrance I bought not long ago. It has quickly become quite a favorite of mine, and I already put quite a dent to it. I'm gonna link to my Paco Rabanne Invictus Parfum review above, so feel free to check it out. Invictus Parfum opens up aquatic and aromatic fresh with a bit of musk and something soapy, and dries down to a musky and woody scent that's not heavy at all with a bit of freshness. So aquatic, aromatic and sort of a soapy fresh, with a bit of musk and woodiness and a slight hint of sweetness. This to me is sort of like they took a bit of Invictus Victory Elixir, mixed it with a bit of Invictus Legend, added a bit of musk and soap to sort of push it into something fresher and lighter. I think I sort of made up my mind about the bottles. I'm really not a fan of the bottles. The juice inside though, however, smells great. And this is a great one for summer night outs. So I remember the first time I mentioned the next fragrance and that it's one of my favorites for summer night outs. I got a lot of comments from that point on saying, hey, you can't wear it for summer night outs, it's too heavy and whatnot. But yes, you most definitely can. It develops in a fantastic way with a bit of warmth and it's a wicked head turner. Sexy spiciness together with the sweetness of caramel on a woody base. This trio works incredibly well. And this is an absolute banger in every single way. I definitely don't wear it that often on warm summer days. But for a night out, it's a banger for sure. So this is Azzaro the Most Wanted, the Eau de Parfum. Now, quite often when I talk about the Eau de Parfum, I get questions about the parfum. Now, the parfum does work, but I also feel that the parfum develops in a bit differently with a bit of warmth. And I do feel that the EDP smells better on summer night outs. Next up is a fragrance that is almost like if you took the aromatic side of Dior Sauvage, added a big dose of sweetness, vanilla and mango to it and balanced that up with a dose of woodiness. Now I know that some feel that it's too heavy for summer night outs, but I think this develops in a fantastic way with a bit of warmth and it's a compliment getter when going out. Do not even think about this if you do not enjoy sweet scents that are fruity and woody. But if you absolutely love that stuff and want a compliment getter on summer night outs, then Gisada Ambassador is definitely a good one that also has good performance. Next up is a fragrance you really only need a few sprays of for summer night outs. It actually develops much better with fewer sprays when it's warm outside. I know some think you can't use this spring and summertime, but just control your sprays and you will see how good it is. This is one of the absolute sexiest vanilla focused fragrances I have and I love it. Absolute Aphrodisiac has a sexy dose of vanilla mixed with a bit of leather and it's ambery and soft musky. Again, you really only need a few sprays of this to smell good on summer night outs. And if you do not enjoy the scent of vanilla and or leather, then this is not for you, but I absolutely love this thing. From one vanilla to another, they are however quite different. And to me, this is basically a powdery scent with a focus of vanilla, but with a sort of unique twist to it thanks to the fruitiness of Maninka. The entire line is pretty much focused on the Maninka note, and that part of this is really what makes this a bit different compared to other powder scents. This is really not a heavy kind of powderiness, and this smells absolutely amazing on summer night outs. This is Hugo Boss Scent Magnetic, and it's a compliment getter scent that's perfect if you love the combo of powderiness and vanilla. From one kind of fruitiness to another, and this is a fragrance that opens up with spicy and aromatic freshness with lavender and geranium. The dry run is where things get really exciting thanks to a bit of plum, which basically adds a sexy dose of fruity sweetness to it all. Bad Boy Cobalt is primarily woody with a bit of earthiness balanced up by a bit of aromatic shine and brightness, and that plum giving it a bit of sexy fruity sweetness. This is a great scent and it's absolutely fantastic on summer night outs. However, the performance is really not the best. And that's where the travel atomizer that I previously mentioned comes in. Top it up every now and then and you will constantly be walking around with the combo of the opening and the fantastic dry down. So next up is a fragrance I bought last year, and I did like it at the time when I bought it, but I was definitely not blown away. But this thing has grown on me a lot since then, and it's not only one of my current favorites, it's also a fragrance I enjoy quite a lot for summer night outs. This is intensely fruity with a bit of aromatic freshness from lavender on a woody and slightly sweet base. This thing does not have any amber in the notes, but on my skin in the dry down, this becomes sort of ambery, and it's really that part together with its intense fruitiness that I'm addicted to. This is Halloween Man Mystery, and it's a gorgeous fruity sweet scent that develops in a fantastic way with a bit of warmth. And I highly recommend this if you enjoy fruity and sweet scents. So next up we have a scent that opens up with vanilla and a soft kind of spiciness. There's a sort of aquatic freshness and vibe to it, but at the same time, and I know this sounds weird, I really do not think of it as an aquatic kind of scent. The drawdown of Le Male Lover is vanillic, ambery and slightly musky with a bit of sexy sweetness to it. This, in a way, yeah, in a way, Le Male Lover is almost like a heavily stripped down version of the original Le Male, with a vanillic core, with a different kind of freshness and sweetness to it that's also a bit ambery and musky. This smells great on its own, and like you can see, I already put quite a dent to it. But I recently started layering this with other fragrances to sort of bring out more nuances, to give it a bit more sort of a complexity and depth. And one of my favorites right now that sort of pushes it into a more tropical direction is to layer this with vanilla vibes. These two together are absolutely perfect for summer night out. So I would absolutely love to know, what are your current favorite fragrances for summer night out?